What's up, everybody? So story time part, what are we, part 4, 5, something. Anyway, I wanted to continue where I left off, and I apologize for it being so long. I've had a very busy few weeks. As most of you know, I sell cars for a living, and it has been crazy between the stimulus checks and taxes and everything else. It's been wild. Sold 40 cars last month, so we're doing good, and just hadn't had time to vlog and work on things and trying to get my videos out like I said I would, so my apologies. But anyway, let's catch up. We were talking last time about my first day in prison when I booked myself in, and it's recording. What?
Huh?
We've been riding around with the top down, so her hair's all messed up, and I'm pretty sure it blew all the makeup off her face as well.
You're a prick.
I'm just saying. So in my last video, I was talking about how I went in, I met my cellie, met a few of the guys, and he was talking about how they were gonna have a party that night. Yeah, so first introduction to prison wasn't near as bad as I thought it would be. The worst part really was like not having a cell phone. Later on, it was the fact of not having Google. Like, I'm one of these people, I like to sit at home, and anytime I think of something I need to do, I go in Google, I research, I watch YouTube. None of that was accessible, but it's all right, it's prison. It could be a lot worse though. So we went and got food at the Chow Hall that night. They call you out by dorms, you go in, and no problems there. You know, you always hear these stories about the cafeteria and knowing where to sit and stuff. It was pretty laid back actually at the minimum I was at. And I did end up getting in touch with the guy from the laundry, so I actually got my uniform to wear, which was actually a button-up shirt, regular pants, Velcro belt. We didn't wear the like the big orange jumpsuits or anything. They were actually like a I don't know what you call it, like a hunter green color, but you know, shirt with pockets and buttons and everything like that. So it was all right. And got a pair of like gym shorts and stuff that I ended up buying off somebody, and some t-shirts. But one of the cool things was whenever we went to get my laundry, the laundry guy was actually walking around with the Bible in his hand, and the security guard mentioned something to him about what he was reading. Yeah, apparently, you know, he was a real religious guy, which was cool. Big Christian guy, real nice. And he even invited me to church that week. Later on, when I was back in my little cubicle in my cell, he actually came by with a little, like, call it like a gift basket, but like it was a bag, like a little gift bag. And it had like shower shoes in it. It had real toothpaste, like Colgate toothpaste, not the prison issued crap. It had a real toothbrush. It had like shampoo and soap, all kinds of good stuff. You know, razors, like nice stuff. So I found out later that the little church there, they would put these little welcome bags together for new inmates to help them out, especially because some of the guys didn't have anything. And then later on, when I started hanging out with the church guys and going to church, you know, I even donated money and goods and things like that to put for the new members as well, which was a really cool way to help, you know, just do something nice for people. So I get my clothes, I get my bedding, I get all that set up. I'm on the top bunk. I had a guy below me that was really cool. He was in there for some fraud or something like that. I don't remember if he was an accountant or what. Later on, I did have some cellies that were accountants. But anyway, the guy was in it first, real nice guy, and then the dude that I had talked to when I first came in, we became good friends. So as the night went on, we had our food, went out, walked around the track a few times. They actually had a track you could walk on, just regular concrete track. They had a softball field, they had bocce ball courts, they had horseshoes, they had pickleball, they had basketball, and I think that was it. There's actually a minimum in Florida that I thought would have been cool to go to that actually had like a putting green or golf course, which I thought would be fun. And some of them even have swimming pools. But yeah, walked around, you know, figured out where everything was. There was a library, there was a chapel, there was like a woodworking shop and things like that where they did crafts and stuff like that. You could pay to do that. After dinner, we get back, we're chilling out. They showed me the TV room. There was 4 TVs. They had one TV that was just kind of like a general TV if there was like movies on somebody wanted to watch. And then there was the TV for the blacks, the TV for the whites, and the TV for the Hispanics, and that's just the way it was. So yeah, it was kind of funny seeing the different programming that the different people wanted to watch. And then outside there was a movie pavilion with 2 big screens in it, and they would rent movies through like Netflix and things like that, and had movies every night. And they would switch them up week to week. So that was kind of cool. So after they showed me around and everything, they said some people were going to drop off some stuff. So it was kind of funny that night while I was there, they had some people throw some stuff over the fence. It was just a single fence, and again, the minimum is very low security. People would throw bags full of goodies over the fence. I can't remember exactly what they got, but I know there was beer, there was like vodka and rum, and I think cigarettes. It was kind of funny because people were walking around making mixed drinks and stuff like that. They'd get their orange juice or apple juice and mix it. It was kind of funny. So I didn't partake that evening. I was still a little shell-shocked just to be there. But it was kind of funny watching the guys do that and people playing cards and just hanging out. It was like summer camp for adults. So it's kind of interesting. And of course, one of the things everybody is always worried about is the showers. Well, the showers are set up a little differently in a minimum, and the bathrooms are different too. Since you all have cubicles and you're in a big dorm, they have a big bathroom area, and it's at the very end of the dorm, off to its own, off to the side. You walk through a little doorway, and they had regular toilets lined up, regular sit-down toilets with stalls, metal doors on them, and everything. Everyone's assigned rolls of toilet paper. So you carry your toilet paper with you, go do your business. They have a line of sinks where you can brush your teeth and everything. Nobody messes with you. And then for the showers, it's you go in this little back area, and there's a line of stalls there. When I got there, they didn't have curtains on the stalls, but they actually eventually ended up adding shower curtains on for even more privacy. So there was 5 shower stalls. They were divided by concrete blocks. You maybe could see like the top of the next guy's head if he was real tall, but that was about it. So you'd take your towel and all your stuff, and you would hold your towel up like this, and you would say shower, and somebody would yell back which showers were available. So for instance, you walk in, shower, somebody says 1, 3, and 5, and you'd say coming to 5. And as you walk by, everybody make sure they kept their backs to you, and you hold your towel up so you're not looking at them. You walk by, keeps you from looking at them, no problems at all. So once I alleviated the issue of being worried about how the shower thing worked and how the cafeteria thing worked, it really wasn't a big deal at all from there. So anyway, after you get your shower, everybody's hanging out. You get ready for what they call count time. And at I think it was 10 o'clock or so, the guards would come through, yell count time. You had to be in your cell, you had to stand up. They just walk through and get a count of everybody that's there. There you go, and go back to whatever you were doing. Sit around, play cards, play Scrabble, hang out in the TV room, just kind of do whatever you wanted to do, and it really wasn't that bad. And I was actually really relieved. And of course, the guys get all excited when somebody new comes in because they want to hear about what's new in the world and things like that. So it was interesting talking to some of the people who had been in for like 5 or 10 years, and they were asking about the new cars that were out, and what things look like and what money looks like. They haven't seen money. We talked about the $100 bills having the big head on them and stuff like that. Like, guys didn't even know about that. They didn't know about the quarters being issued with the different states on the back. So anyway, that was real interesting to me because I didn't think about that when I went in, that one of the things would be, guys have been in there a long time and want to know what stuff's like on the outside. And I was like, well, of course they're going to be interested. It made sense. So stuff like that, they want to know where you're from and your life story. I mean, it's just, you have nothing better to do but sit there and talk to each other. So you make friends and you talk about stuff. We stayed up till freaking, like, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the morning the first night I was there, just talking. We had our little LED lights on in the room after it was lights out, and we just sat there laughing and having a good time. The only thing I would say that the biggest inconvenience was waiting to get money on your commissary and waiting to get your PIN number for the phone. And if you go in, you never want to check in on a Friday, because if you check in on a Friday, it's going to be Monday before you can ever get any of those things, which means you have to go the whole weekend with nothing. And sometimes it can be a pain because they only feed you at I don't know, I never even got up for breakfast. I think maybe once in the whole time I was there did I ever get up in time for breakfast. But I don't know, it was at 6. You ate lunch at 11 or 12, and then dinner was at 4 or 5. And that was it. You'd eat at 5 o'clock, and you didn't get to eat again till the next day. So if you didn't have food or anything like that, you were basically screwed. Now the good thing was I knew I was going to have money coming in every month on my account. I'd already...
Shut up. It sounds like shit, dude.
I'd already set it up with my parents where I'd already set up with my parents where I knew they'd put some money on my account each month, so I was able to tell my cellie, because he was like, dude, if you need anything, and look, they'll tell you when you get in prison, don't borrow from nobody. Look, everybody borrows and buys from each other. They have stores set up in their cubes with some of these guys where if you need something, yes, you'll pay interest on it just like a loan, but if you want a pack of Cokes and you don't have the money right then, or you don't go to store for another week or two, well, you get the pack of Cokes, and if they cost $5, you give them 6 or 7. It wasn't really crazy like what you hear, especially at this one. But anyway, so I went ahead and got a few things that I needed, but I knew within a couple of days I'd have money on my account. But my cellie was like, dude, if you need something, you know, like the little things, especially like chapstick and stuff like that, or a snack or something to drink. And the guys, it's like it's a community in there, especially in these little minimum dorms, because once you get your little group of friends together, you make food together, you eat snacks together. So it's just it's a collective, and that's what really brings everybody together, and it's a brotherhood once you're in there. Can't remember exactly what we did that night, but I do remember the guys. Some of the guys were partying and stuff, so it was funny. They were mixing drinks and things. The rest of them were cooking food, and I remember sitting and eating snacks with the guys, and they were showing me these like homemade things they would make. Yeah, so it was like I said, more like just a bunch of guys hanging out at camp. We just couldn't leave, and we couldn't call and talk to anybody unless we used a payphone. Another thing they got me set up with was they have the Core Links system, which is the email system. So you can email out, and then people can email you back as long as they have your link. And at any time during the day you want, you can go over to the computers and check and see if you have any emails. That's the main form of communication at the prison. And it's handy. You can sit there and type and stuff. It charges you per minute that you're on the computer. So if you're good at typing, you type fast, it doesn't cost you much to send a message. And later on, I found myself actually helping people type long letters to their loved ones in exchange for a Coke or something like that, because I could type really fast. It saved them money. They didn't mind swapping out things like that for me. That's a quick summary on my first day, and I'll follow up in a week with another story time. Try to tell you some more things about my experience, how things continued on while I was in federal prison. So I appreciate you guys watching, tuning in. Thank you for all the likes and all the subscribing and all the commenting. I appreciate that. So if you haven't yet, be sure to give me a like.
I'm sorry. Ugh.
So if you haven't yet...
I'm sorry.
So if you haven't yet, be sure to give me a thumbs up, like, dislike, whatever you want to do. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and click the bell to be notified of future videos. And I'll talk to you guys later.
Like, dislike. Shut up! Oh. Oh my god, it's fucking... Oh, no wonder y'all sound like... Never mind, I'm sorry.
Alright, we're gonna roll.